Someone keeps testing your patience because your brain accidentally rewards their behavior. The scary part is, you probably learned this pattern during childhood interactions. Every reaction teaches toxic people exactly how deeply they can control emotions. But after today, your silence will completely change how people approach you. Most people believe confidence means speaking louder whenever somebody disrespects their personal boundaries. But psychologically powerful people usually respond slower, calmer, and emotionally detached during conflict. That unexpected reaction instantly destroys the emotional reward toxic personalities secretly chase daily. And once you understand this pattern, you cannot comfortably ignore disrespect again. There is one brain shift that immediately changes how manipulative people treat you, not through fighting, screaming, or proving yourself smarter during uncomfortable emotional conversations. Instead, you quietly remove emotional rewards toxic people usually receive from vulnerable individuals. Here is where everything becomes interesting, because most people unknowingly encourage disrespectful behavior. Why toxic people target emotional reactions? Toxic personalities constantly search for people reacting emotionally under uncomfortable social pressure situations. Your angry explanations secretly communicate weakness, insecurity, and fear of losing somebody's approval. The moment your emotions explode, manipulative people instantly feel psychological control over conversations. Strong people pause first, because emotional control creates invisible authority during difficult interactions. Next time somebody insults you, remain calm for several uncomfortable silent seconds afterward. Then answer briefly using emotionally neutral phrases without defensive explanations or unnecessary energy. That confusing response interrupts their expectations and weakens their emotional manipulation strategy immediately. The scary part is, toxic people usually disappear whenever emotional rewards completely vanish. Stop explaining every decision. Many emotionally exhausted people constantly explain choices, hoping others finally understand their intentions. But excessive explanations psychologically sound like hidden guilt instead of healthy, confident decision-making. Quiet growth teaches something important, because confidence rarely requires endless emotional defending afterward. Calm certainty always sounds stronger than nervous storytelling during emotionally tense personal conversations. When somebody questions your decision repeatedly, avoid emotionally over-explaining your personal reasoning afterward. Simply repeat your choice calmly, without sounding angry, afraid, or desperate for acceptance anymore. Most respectful individuals immediately understand boundaries whenever your communication becomes emotionally grounded afterward. But manipulative personalities continue pushing because controlling uncertainty gives them emotional satisfaction daily. Consequences change everything. People repeat disrespectful behavior whenever your boundaries never create meaningful emotional consequences afterward. If somebody constantly ignores your value, quietly reduce your emotional availability toward them. Stop rewarding disrespect using immediate replies, unlimited attention, or endless emotional accessibility afterward. Actions communicate stronger psychological messages than dramatic speeches during emotionally unhealthy relationships today. Here's where toxic people become confused after your behavior suddenly starts emotionally changing completely. You no longer chase approval, rescue conversations, or constantly maintain one-sided emotional relationships anymore. That emotional distance forces manipulative individuals realizing they might permanently lose your attention completely. And surprisingly, respectful people usually begin appreciating your presence much more afterward. The final brain shift. The ultimate psychological freedom appears when loneliness stops frightening your emotional decision-making completely. People manipulate easier whenever they sense desperation for connection, approval, or constant emotional validation. But emotionally independent individuals naturally attract healthier relationships because their boundaries feel genuinely authentic. Once you enjoy solitude peacefully, toxic personalities suddenly lose powerful influence over your behavior. Your brain was never weak. It simply learned emotionally unsafe survival patterns before. Now you understand why silence, boundaries, and calm responses psychologically change unhealthy relationships completely. This week, practice one small boundary and carefully notice how people emotionally respond afterward. Because once your brain rewires self-respect, toxic people rarely recognize you anymore.